Knife gun guy here. In my EDC video, I mentioned that I have a Leatherman Wave that I prefer to carry, and it was out for warranty. And I've been planning on doing a video on how Leatherman handled their warranty, whether it be good or bad or however, when I got it back. And today, I got it back. So, let me just tell you about the warranty process, how that whole thing went, how long it took and all that. So when you're going to warranty a Leatherman, you just have to fill out this little information paper on the internet, and then you just fill that out and send it in. They got the tool back to them. I shipped it on the 1st of December. They got the tool on the 3rd. And then I got it today on the 9th. So they did it really quickly. 9 days from when I shipped it, 6 days from when they received it. So as far as the timeliness goes, they got it back really quickly. How Leatherman chooses to handle their warranty is, I just had a couple of blades wrong, or that had gone bad in this thing. I broke one off. I'd messed up in between here and the wire cutters and things like that. So instead of just replacing what's wrong on there, they just send you a whole new tool. That kind of brings me to the point of the warranty that I would want to talk about. Is the tool that I got back was not up to the same quality level as the tool that I purchased. When I bought it from the store, everything on it was just outstanding. The fit and the finish on all the tools were really good. I got the exact same tool back, and it is brand new. But and I may have just got a fluke back on a warranty. Maybe they don't normally handle their warranty this way. But I only have one warranty to compare it to, and that's this one. So what happened was I got it back from warranty, and it was almost like when they're doing the production line of the tools, they have a couple of faulty tools and that don't quite make it through the production. There's little things wrong with them, so they throw them in a pile, and those are the tools they use for warranty. That may not be how they do it, but from my experience with this particular warranty, that's what it seems like with this tool. It was not the same quality as the tool that I purchased that was the same model, which is the Leatherman Wave. What the deal was, I got it. The pliers barely opened when I first got it. It took me 45 minutes worth of work to get this to an operational state, and it's fine now. But I had to do filing on it. I had to buff things, lubricate all the blades and stuff like that to get them to open and close. I'll just show you here. This pry bar that's inside the Wave had big notches taken out of it, so it wouldn't go in and out of the tool. Inside here, you've got the spaces there that all the tools sit inside. One of these was bent out, so I had to smash it with pliers back to where it was supposed to be so that these would come inside and out easily. So that was that way. On the scissors, you've got this little spring that makes it so the scissors open and close without your thumb, so they stay open. That little spring was bent out, so when you go to close it, the spring just pops on the outside of the scissors, so that was bad. I had to pull this out and bend that back, then put it all back together. And so it's fine now, everything works great now, but when I got it, I couldn't even pull these out. I had to use another tool just to get the tools out because it was smashed in there so tight because all this stuff was wrong with it. So I had to pinch that together, sand inside there, file this thing smooth, buff it clean, and I don't know, they may not do that with all their warranties. Other people may have had different experiences, but that was the experience I got. If I would have gone to the store and paid the $90 or whatever that the Leatherman Wave costs, and opened it up and the tool was in the condition that this one was in, I'd be pretty upset. Because they should come better than that. And it did the original time. Just the warranty tool came that way. So that's kind of how that warranty. I've got this Leatherman back. I said in my EDC video that I preferred the Leatherman over the Gerber. I'm just going to go over a little bit of why, and just start kind of from the beginning. So the Leatherman Wave and the Gerber suspension, I think, are in about the same class of multi-tool. They're basically competitors with each other. Size and weight are very similar. The Leatherman may be just a little bit taller, not much. You can see there the weight, or the Gerber on the other hand, is a lot wider this way and this way, so it's just a more bulky tool to have in your pocket or even on your side on the sheath. And I don't mind that bulk so much as long as you get something for it. And when you start comparing what you get in this package compared to what you get in this package is really where the Leatherman excels over the Gerber. So if we just start out with the main blade on the Gerber and the main blade on the Leatherman, you can pretty clearly see the differences between those. The blade shape on the Leatherman is better than the blade shape on the Gerber, which is just a straight blade, which is okay for little projects and stuff like that, but the cutting power of this blade is much, much better. And say you decide to leave your tactical folder at home and you may need to put a knife into a defensive use, you could probably do that with this blade on the Leatherman Wave, where the one on the Gerber would probably not function in that role very well. So that's the main blades. They both lock. All the tools on both multi-tools are locking. So from the main blade we have the rescue cutter, or like rope cutting blade. Same thing here, just dwarfs it. The Leatherman's blade is a lot bigger, better serrations. It's just a better blade, and out of the same size package you're getting almost twice as long of the blade with the Leatherman. The next big one is, let's see here, here it is the saw in the Gerber. Now I've used both saws. This one's obviously brand new, but I've actually tested both saws. Same thing, difference in length again. The Leatherman saw is much, much, much bigger than the Gerber saw, but is skinnier. So when you're cutting through something, a skinnier blade actually in most cases is better for cutting through tree limbs and stuff like that. Also, the cutting teeth on this Leatherman are almost like the teeth you find on a wood jigsaw blade. Like they're actually cut out like high performance teeth, if you will. Whereas the Gerber, they're just like triangles stuck on. They're not even sharp. And they weren't from the factory. And so it does cut, but nowhere near as quickly and as nicely as this blade here. And then here's the other one that the Leatherman has that the Gerber doesn't even have, is a nail file and a steel file, wood and steel file on there, which comes in handy quite often. I was shooting an AK-47 the other day that I couldn't get a magazine into because the tolerances on the gun weren't right for the. I was using a P mag on it, and it wouldn't fit inside there, so I actually had to file the metal down. Leatherman came in handy because that was the only file we had that day. So that file actually comes in handy. So now this is where the suspension starts to kind of excel, is all the tools are accessed from the outside of the knife. You don't have to open it to get into any of the other tools, where on the Leatherman at this point you have to open it up to get to the screwdrivers and stuff like that. So let's open both these up to begin with. the pliers on the Leatherman. They're both good pliers, but the tolerances on the Gerber are not as good. They kind of wiggle. They don't always line up when you put them together, and then when you squeeze the tool, it has a lot of play in it before. And I think that has to do with the tolerances here. Whereas the Leatherman, there's no play in it side to side, and there wasn't even on the one that I warrantied, and they just stay more solid. As far as the tools you get with it, we'll start with this one, the flathead and Phillips head screwdriver. Now this tool, it's got lubricant all over it, kind of hard to pull out. You got the Phillips and flathead screwdriver right there with the Leatherman, and you can buy accessory kits for these and have tons more tools that you can put into those slots. Whereas on the Gerber, you have a good Phillips and a good flathead screwdriver, but that's all you've got. You can never change it to anything else. You can get Torx bits for this. You can get a lot of other tools for the Leatherman Wave that you can't get for this. But the ones that it does have are pretty good quality. As I mentioned earlier, they're all locking blades on both tools. This tool here, the can opener on both of them, is right here. Let's see. The can opener on both of them. They're both good. I've used the can opener on both of these knives. They work. They both work well. I don't think either one of them worked better than the other. I think they both worked just fine. This one has a little awl on it, which is nice. The Leatherman doesn't have that. I wish it did sometimes. But it also has another tool. It has a pry bar that I use a lot that this doesn't have. It also has these eyeglass, or just really, really small. I use it a lot for kids' toys. I find their battery compartments for their toys have little tiny screws in them, like Phillips head screws and stuff, and this flathead and Phillips head driver bit that comes in there comes in handy quite often. So those two are in the Leatherman, they're not in the Gerber. So the last thing that's in both tools is the scissors. The Leatherman scissors are a little bit bigger. Gerber scissors are big, they're bulky, they have a lot of steel to them, but the actual cutting teeth of the scissors on the Leatherman are longer and sharper, and they cut better. They both cut just fine with this paper. They both cut fine, but the Leatherman scissors cut better. They're just better designed. So that's kind of the ins and outs of those two tools, why I prefer the Leatherman over the Gerber. But there is, a $50 or so price difference between the two, and the Leatherman's a lot more expensive. But if you're willing to go, if you have a little extra money to spend, it's probably worth it to spend it on this over the two tools. If you don't, if you're on a tight budget, which a lot of us are, then the Gerber is also a good way to go. They're both good tools. So that's kind of my warranty on the Leatherman review / kind of comparison between these two tools. Yeah, if you like that, subscribe for more vids. I got more stuff like this coming, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.